Welcome again to the Masterclass Marathon on Sunday. Super excited to be here as usual. We hope that you are happy about being here and are ready to get information about things in business that you know you need to know and some things you didn't even know that you needed to know. So I'm super excited about today as usual. And I'm just really glad that you guys have joined us. If you are interested in actually speaking on the Masterclass Marathon, make sure that you click the link in my bio, which will lead you to the Masterclass Marathon speaker sign up. And you can actually get yourself registered if you wish to speak on the marathon. So I am just pulling up one of the assets so that you guys could actually see. All right. Okay, just wanted to make sure that we actually put something up. Okay, because this will be my screensaver for today. All right, it is not the 10th, but okay, guys, I was scrolling through. I didn't save it on my screen, so anyway, good evening. Welcome. So I'm glad to be here. The Masterclass Marathon is a place where we actually show up and we share information with you all. You know you need to know, some things you don't know you need to know. All right, so our speakers are coming in right now. Super excited to have them to join. For my speakers, can you please actually request to be in the live so we can bring you on? Request to be in the live. Hi, Jack. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
Awesome. I'm great. Getting storm ready earlier. Thank you for
Hey.
alerting me. Yeah. So we're in Florida and there is a storm coming in a few days. So we just wanted to make sure we're fully prepared. All right. Let's bring all of our speakers up.
Yeah, and I went to like three different stores and they're already out of stuff, and I've seen some videos of like tonight and there's some crazy lines. So
Oh gosh, yeah. I got up and went early today. I was like, I am
yeah.
going to get my water and my other things. So yeah. So welcome everyone. Thank you guys for joining today. Thank you so much for joining. All right. So you guys are watching the Masterclass Marathon. Please share this live out with at least 5 to 10 people and make sure that they know to come in here and get this information that we're going to give. We give great information every single week on Saturdays at 12 and on Sundays at 7. So we're excited to be here with you sharing info. All right. Get your pens and papers ready for some notes and we're going to get started. All right. Tonight's segment is sponsored by UBG membership. All right. It is a business membership that allows you to actually be able to get in, get social media info, and to be able to learn more about business tactics and the likes of that type of stuff. Okay. All right. We're going to get started. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. It looks like she's having connectivity issues, so that works perfect anyways for me. So I'll actually jump right into it. So tonight I'm actually going to talk about how social media doesn't have to be hard. And so I like to talk about this often when we are sharing things on social media. So for those of you who don't know, I'm Jack the God. I own a design agency, I own a clothing brand, and I also help and assist in UBG, and I get to teach on my creative side. So, we get a little bit of both blends with me and Tamika, and it's really great, right? So I like to speak in there often, and I'll talk about how social media doesn't have to be hard. So what does that mean? I know a lot of us, some of us are struggling with actually showing up on social media the way we need to for our businesses. Because if you're not actually showing up on social media, who knows you exist? Who knows that you have a business? And how are you able to make money? You're leaving so much money on the table. And so a lot of people are often, not showing up because they feel like it's hard, right? They don't want to learn these dances, or they don't know how to be creative or come up with certain concepts. But the truth is, it doesn't have to be hard. You just have to make it work for you. So if you're just a person who likes just talking about what you do, then you can do that. Or you can just take videos of your day to day, right? So whatever the case is, you can actually make it work for you. And so you can do that, but it's also important to know how to use it and how to use it effectively. So if you're not familiar, different social media platforms, they actually do different things. And the different features on social media platforms also allow you to get a different type of engagement with your potential customer, or with that person that you're trying to reach out to or offer value to. So it's important that you know these things. what each one of these things do, what the purpose is for each one of them, because you need to ultimately have like some type of strategy plan so you can mark out why you're doing these things and if they're really working. So these are things that are super, super important. I'm just going to go over a few examples since we're on Instagram right now, I'm going to go over a few examples utilizing Instagram and how we can go ahead and use these features to actually benefit in your favor. So with Instagram in particular, right now I'm going live, right? So what a lot of people don't realize, if we have these things like masterclass marathon, so if you have a business, if you're a business owner, if you're a coach, or anything of that nature, you should be getting on things like masterclass marathon, because you can use this to now go ahead and engage with somebody else's audience. So right now, me and Tamika are on this live, I'm able to engage with her audience and vice versa. So we're able to tap into each other's audience. And this actually helps me get exposure by getting in front of her audience and whoever else comes on this live. So that's how we're able to use live strategically. If you're utilizing your stories, that's usually for something that's more personal. So I might post my day to day, maybe if I cook something. Again, right now we're in Florida, we're going through this storm, so maybe I might post me getting ready for my storm. And I might use this place to market and sell a little bit, because I know that the people, my tribe who watches me on a consistent basis, who are returning people who consistently watch all my content and support my stuff, they're going to be in my stories. So I might sell them there, right? That's the proper way to use stories. And then we have things like our posts, our carousel posts. It's a similar nature. It's typically going to be the same people, the people that go on your page, the people that are being recommended your content because they're constantly engaging and liking it. So you want to post certain things on a regular post. It might be like a marketing tactic, or it might be a learning carousel, an educational carousel, so people can get some knowledge based on what you whatever value you offer. And then when we utilize something like reels, typically that's for an audience that's not even in front of us. What happens is when we shoot out a reel, our current audience, their audience is actually typically what sees more of our reels. And so we're able to get in front of a different audience. So notice that each one of these things allows you to get in front of different people in different ways. And so utilizing social media doesn't have to be hard when you know what you're doing, when you know how to use it, and when you're creating a specific marketing plan to work around the way that you want to deliver things. So again, you don't have to learn a dance or anything. You can just be yourself and show up and be yourself and make money. And if you're utilizing social media the right ways that you're supposed to use it. So for me, most of my videos are in a chair like this, because I just use lives and stuff like this to go ahead and show my audience. So I don't have to do anything extra outside of that. And the really, really cool thing is, it can go deeper and it can get as easy as you want it to be. But I know I don't have that much time to share all of my different strategies. So I did want to give you a little bit of that knowledge, because I know that you can go ahead, you can now maybe just start creating a video that works for you in a way that works for you, but knowing that the way those three things work can also change the way that you're selling tomorrow. Because if you're trying to sell on a reel, you're more than likely not going to get as much sales as if you were actually selling in your stories or in a carousel or in a regular post. Because guess what? People who see you for the first time typically aren't going to buy your product. It takes somebody about 7 times before they even touch you, before they even try to like get to know your brand. So maybe that's not the place you want to sell. So if you're doing that and you're wondering why it's not working, well, again, knowing how to use a social media platform and what each piece does can change the way that you're putting your puzzle pieces together, and it can change the way that you market tomorrow and maybe actually help you meet like your goals and your needs. I'm pretty sure I'm running out of time soon. That is most of my presentation, and I think it's pretty clear from there. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. But just to let you guys know even more, my name's Jack the God. I own a design agency. I also, help teach these strategies, these tips in Underground Biz Group. And me and Tamika, we actually have something really, really cool coming up tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a social media masterclass, and it's only $27. Honestly, it's a steal, because if you're not making money off of social media right now, we have so much games, so much gems that'll help you change the way you're using social media in your business, and it'll make your life easier. Like I'm telling you, you'll get more time. You'll get more time back in your week. You'll be creating better content that works, and your mind is probably going to be blown away, because that's all I hear every time we do this presentation. So you're not going to want to miss it. And you can just hit the link in my bio, go to Underground Biz Group, and we'll see you at the masterclass tomorrow at 7 p.m. So You can also tap in jackthegod.com, and all my info is right there. So if you have any questions, please put it in the chat, and I'm so happy to answer while I'm here. You're on mute. No, you're still on mute. I can't hear you. There you go.
I was muted. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. I was saying that I was putting on the screen that it's only $27. And make sure that you guys follow Jack by clicking the arrow above, and then click the link in her bio to be able to join the class that we're doing tomorrow. So yeah, like Jack said, we do these classes every Monday at 10 a.m. inside UBG, but we're doing a special session tomorrow evening for you guys to get a bunch of different strategies. So like when we teach in UBG, we actually teach on one strategy at a time. That's the specific lesson for the day. But this masterclass that we're doing, we've encompassed a bunch of things that you actually need. It's a variety of things that you need to understand about how you get started, show up, the things that need to be in front of your audience that you need to organize. Because usually most people try to just show up on social media and wonder why it looks a little crazy. It's because you haven't done your branding. You didn't do all of the things that set you apart. And now you show up and you're just doing all these things that don't even have a plan. They don't match. People don't even really believe you're in business because of how you show up on the social media. So we also have Mimi coming up. She is getting ready to present as well. Mimi is a marketing expert, and she's going to be doing a presentation for you guys in just a moment when she joins this live. But tomorrow, the class that we're talking about will be Jack and I, and we're going to give you guys some real game tomorrow. We've actually sat down and we thought about what do people really need to know who are in business. And what we thought about was not just who's starting. It's like who's in business. Because you know what's crazy? A lot of people make a lot of mistakes from the onset of coming on social media, never even know that they are mistakes. So I'm trying to make sure that Mimi can actually join us so she can go next here on the Masterclass Marathon. So if you guys are here, you're watching the Masterclass Marathon. We come here every Saturday at 12 Eastern and Sundays at 7. And we're going to give you information that you need about something in business. We share things that we know you needed to know and some things you didn't even know that you needed to know. So we're always excited about being here. So thank you all for joining. Please share the live out so that more people can come on in and be delighted with this info that we're sharing. Hello, Mimi. How are you?
I am great. Happy Sunday. You look radiant tonight. What is going on?
Thank you.
Is it that color? It's beautiful. You look great.
Oh, you know what? Blue. I love blue. This is actually one of my favorite colors.
It looks good on you.
Thank you.
It's definitely your color. It lights up your face. Well, I'm super excited. Hey, Jack, how are you? What's your hat say?
Hey,
I can't read it.
I'm doing great. Oh, believe in your hustle.
I love it. I love it. You know, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've taken a couple of your quotes that you've said in your masterclass and turned them into quotes and shared them because I've been so impacted by those nuggets of wisdom you've shared. Yeah.
I love that. I appreciate it.
Good. It's great to see you guys.
Well, let me tell Jonathan, thank you for getting a badge tonight. You're the best. We really appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Yes.
Thanks, Jonathan.
So you guys are watching the Masterclass Marathon where we share information about business, things that you know you need to know, and some things you didn't even know you needed to know. So Mimi is going to go up next, and she is going to give you some things that you need to take notes on. So please get your pen and paper out and get ready. Every speaker that comes here actually has 13 minutes to do a presentation for you. We do mini masterclasses here, okay? What you should know is that normally a lot of entrepreneurs who have something to share with the world find themselves doing their own masterclasses on their own. And we come here together to share our audiences. Those that came to see me are now going to see Mimi, and they're also going to see Jack, and as well as everyone else that comes on the screen. So this is a collective effort for us to get exposure and to really share what we actually know. We're excited about who we are and what we do, and we love, love, love sharing. Every speaker also has 2 minutes to be able to tell you who they are, where they're located, who they serve, and what it is that they actually have to offer. I'm not going to let them come here and give all of this knowledge out without being able to tell you how they can connect with you on a deeper level. All right. So without further ado, I am going to bring Mimi Shepherd to you. She has 13 minutes on the clock and then 2 minutes afterwards. All right, Mimi, you now have your 13 minutes on the clock. Let's go.
All right, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be with everybody. My name is Mimi Shepherd. I'm a social media coach for mompreneurs and entrepreneurs. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, but the majority of them have been mompreneurs. So they are juggling motherhood and business. And what that means is, what I've learned through that process is, you need strategies. We all need strategies to do quick and easy work on social media, right? So the people that I work with are building businesses utilizing social media to get their messaging out. And you can spend all day long on social media and really not make a lot of progress if you don't have a strategy. So the strategies I utilize are strategies to increase your organic reach, and we're going to talk about that tonight, about how to increase your organic reach and some of the things you should stop doing that are hurting your reach. So what you want to do is really be intentional with your time on social media, right? Stop that scroll, because that scroll is going to get you on, a rabbit hole of unfruitful work, and it's going to put you in a work mode, but not making progress in your work. So the strategies that I utilize with mompreneurs are to really help them get on social media, be intentional with their time, and get off social media so they can continue living their lives and doing their thing with their families. So tonight we're going to talk about organic reach and how to really increase your organic reach. And this is really important. I did an experiment this week. Normally, I post to Instagram, and my Instagram and my Facebook are connected. So when I post to Instagram, it automatically goes over to my stories and to my newsfeed. But here's the problem with that. My reach on Facebook had dropped dramatically. My engagement on Facebook had dropped dramatically. So I did an experiment a few days ago, and my organic reach has been boosted tremendously. So here, I want to give you some information and some variables, and then we're going to get into the granular strategies of how to really increase your organic reach. So we know that the algorithm is a tricky beast. I don't know about you all, but I feel like every week Instagram has some new tactic or strategy. They've changed the algorithm. They're doing something different, and it is like mind-blowing, right? Raise your hand, tap a heart, give me a reaction if you have felt like the Instagram algorithm is driving you nuts. Well, the Facebook, yes, every one of us, right? The Facebook algorithm drove us nuts for a really long time. And that is a direct result of why so many people have come over to Instagram. And now the Instagram algorithm is getting really tricky. So here's some statistical information that we knew, but it was confirmed this week. Only about 2 to 3% of your network even sees your posts, which is mind-blowing. So let's do some math, you guys. I want you to take the number of friends you have on Facebook or the number of followers you have on Instagram. And I'm gonna give you some raw data just to make it easy. If you have 2,000 friends or 2,000 followers, let's max that out at 3% of your audience, right? That's about that's about 60 people. So if you have 2,000 people following you on Instagram or 2,000 friends on Facebook, and you make a post, only about 60 people are going to see that post. That's like a huge gap, right? And we want to fill in that gap. So let's continue this numbers game. So 3,000 followers at 3%. And we know it's between 2% and 3%. And that was confirmed just this past week. But I went high. I estimated high. So 3,000 followers or 3,000 friends, 3% of that is only 90 people. So if you have 4,000 followers or 4,000 friends, only about 120 people are going to see your posts. And with 5,000 followers, you've got about 3% at 150 people. So those are pretty low numbers. And I mean, they're great. I would love to speak to 150 people, but out of 5,000, it really is kind of disheartening, right? And you can feel like, what's the point of me even posting because nobody's going to see my post? Where there's some things that you can do to really increase your organic reach, and that's what I specialize in. So here are a couple things that you should do. First of all, it's great to have your stories and your accounts connected on Instagram and Facebook, but you don't always necessarily need to post at the same time. So when you go to post on Instagram, don't necessarily let your post feed go right over to Facebook, right? Spend a few minutes on each platform before you make a post. Engage with your audience. Talk to the people who are following you. Talk to other collaborators, talk to other creators and collaborators that you would like to do business with, or that you would like to leverage your time with, that you would like to interview, or that you would like to learn more about. Spend your time in conversation, being social. We have really gotten away from the social aspect of this. There are so many of us using social media to push out information about our programs and services, but we are forgetting that the most important part is the social part, right? We've got to engage in conversation. And nobody's going to care about the information that you put out if it's always a one-sided conversation. So you've got to spend some time being interested in other people, right? It's more important to be interested than interesting, right? Because if people really care about what you are, what you have to say, it's because you have shown compassion and caring and interest in them, right? Nobody likes somebody who walks into a room or is on social media and makes everything about them and what they have, right? You're going to get far more traction and generate far more leads and more sales if you are more interested in other people and helping them advance their careers. So first of all, be interested instead of interesting, instead of focusing on being interesting. Spend time on the platform before you make a post, and spend time engaging with your audience, your followers, and people you'd like to collaborate with. You can also, advanced strategy here, you can also go to accounts that you follow and make comments in the comment section and kind of see who is showing up. Reply to comments on comments that are already made, right? So you're building your following by making a comment and also looking at the comments that have already been left and making comments on those, replying to those comments, starting conversations in the chats. So you're going to do that, then you're going to make your post, and then you spend another 10 minutes on the platform replying to comments that are made and going into your comment section on your post and leaving more messages. So here's one of the advanced strategies that I utilize. So sometimes, and I'm still experimenting to see what's working today on Instagram and what's working today on Facebook. On Instagram, we know that hashtags are still really important, although 30 hashtags are not going to be as important. So we don't want to spam people with all those hashtags. So the strategy is, in the caption of your post, go ahead and do 5 to 7 hashtags, the most critical, important hashtags. Save the rest of your strategic hashtags for the first comment on your own post. That triggers the algorithm. An immediate comment on your post triggers the algorithm that somebody saw that post and thought it was interesting enough to comment. The algorithm, thank goodness to this point, has not picked up on, oh, she's replying to her own comment or she's replying to her own post, and it doesn't punish it yet. So go into the comment of your own post and make another comment. And on Instagram, that's really easy to do. You can use the rest of the hashtags that you think are pertinent to that post, put them in the comments section. Then go ahead and ask an open-ended question. So that's comment number 2 on your own post, right? And that invites conversation, because sometimes people are not necessarily looking at the caption, they're looking at the post itself, and they're going immediately to the comments if it's of interest to them. So they may miss the caption altogether. So go ahead and repeat whatever question, whatever call to action open-ended conversation starter, put it in the comments. And that way you're getting traction on the post, number one, and you are triggering the algorithm to let them know that it should be pushed out to more people. So those are really good ways to start increasing your organic reach. And the same is true on Facebook. Here's the experiment I did. I didn't separate. I posted on Instagram, but I did not allow it to go over to Facebook. And I went to Facebook, spent a few minutes interacting on the platform. I made a post, and then I started putting comments in my own post on Facebook. I don't do a lot of hashtagging on Facebook, but I was in the comment section of my own post, and you guys, the comments blew up. I sell products on social media. Do you know how many inquiries I had from one post? 6. I haven't had 6 inquiries in one post in a long time, but 6 people reached out to me or started conversations in the chat and said, hey, I am really interested in what it is you have to offer. Can you help me? I need this product. I'm losing my hair. I need your product. I'd love some more information. Whether or not those people transition, it showed me that I have not been present enough and I have not been focused enough on being present on the platform. So you can no longer post and pray or post and ghost, right? We've got to spend time on the platform before we make a post and then get into your own post on the platform after we make a post. And here's another advanced strategy. Spend a few minutes on the platform replying to your own post, going in the comment section as I advised, and then spend time going to the posts and the people who have been watching your posts and watching your stories, and start engaging with them. You're increasing the stickiness factor between you and the prospective buyers that you want to work with, right? Or the prospective collaborators or influencers that you want to work with. All of that stickiness increases your organic reach. Here is something that I love doing. We've got birthdays, right? Well, if you post a birthday message on somebody's wall, they may or may not see it, right? Depending on their number of friends, depending on how busy they are on their birthday. But if you wish them a happy birthday in their messages, you're going to up your organic reach, right? They're more likely to respond, first of all, increasing the stickiness between you and them on social media. And they're more likely to remember you out of all the people who wish them a happy birthday on their news feed. So get into people's inboxes. When you see them celebrating, posting something that is really special or really exciting that happened, they're posting it on their news feed, get into their DMs, you guys, and say, hey, I saw that post. Congratulations, or happy anniversary. Congratulate them, speak to them, start a conversation with them, because they may or may not see that comment on their post. It's going to be much more meaningful and much more memorable if you get into a private conversation with them. You don't have to be selling. I encourage you not to start a sales conversation when you wish them a happy birthday or congratulations on an award, right? You're just starting a conversation. And one of the most important things we're doing as salespeople on social media is we're selling. We're not just being social, we're selling. So shift your focus from selling to being social, being human, and just starting conversations. That's where the magic's going to happen. And use those little tricks that I gave in order to increase your organic reach so more of your network will see your posts. And the good news is you can increase that by almost twofold. So the maximum reach right now is about 3%. But if you employ these kinds of strategies, you can increase that to 5 or 6%, which is going to double those numbers. And now you're speaking to a much larger percentage of your audience, and you're increasing your chance of getting more leads and more sales. So that's my time, and I hope that was helpful.
Yes, Mimi,
I
that
did
was
not
good.
think I was going to talk for 13 minutes.
Yes, it's crazy. So, yeah, Mimi was dropping gems and nuggets and all the things, okay? So thank you so much for those strategies. So we really appreciate you. I was over here taking a couple of notes myself, so thank you so much for the info.
You're so
Yes.
welcome.
And so Mimi is going to now give you some more information about who she is and how you can connect with her, because she actually has something to offer on top of the fact that she was here dropping all of those gems and nuggets. And we're not going to let her get away without telling you what she actually has to offer. All right. Even if she wants to just be social and share info. Okay. All right. Mimi, you now have the 2 minutes on the clock.
Great. Thank you so much, Tamika. My name is Mimi Sheffer again, and I am a social media coach for mompreneurs. You can find me on Facebook, you can find me on TikTok, you can find me on Instagram and on Clubhouse. My handle is Marketing with Mimi on Facebook, on TikTok, and on Instagram. And it's a shortened version of that on Clubhouse. So what I offer two things, right? Well, three things that I want to tell you about. First of all is a social media audit. These can go for $3,000 to $5,000. I offer a simple, scaled down version, which is only $97. And what I do is I take a look at your top 2 social media platforms and really use those to amplify your messaging and help you make shifts in your strategy to increase your organic reach and increase your visibility, right? That's super important. So this is not about recreating your entire Instagram news feed. This is about making small, subtle shifts in your messaging, in your strategy, in your posting times, and in your focus and intentionality, so that when you post, more people see your post and you start creating a bigger following faster. So that is available through my link in my bio. It's stan.store/marketing with Mimi, or click the link in my bio and you'll be able to sign up for that. It's just $97 and it's super helpful. That includes a detailed report and a strategy call. There's also an ebook in there. It's called Visibility Strategies, How to Get Attention and Attraction on Social Media. That's just $27. And there are social media graphics. If you're a busy person looking to simplify your social media marketing strategy, you can purchase graphics that you can quickly brand and utilize in your social media marketing content. That's my time. I would love to work with you, and I would love to help you advance your social selling career online.
All right, all right. And that has been Mimi Sheffer sharing social media strategies with you today. So thank you so much, Mimi. Make sure that you guys are giving a quick follow to any of us that are here speaking. Jack the God just came down off of the screen, but Jack the God, JACTHEGOD, Jack the God. If you want to make sure you give her a follow and give Mimi a follow. And next up, we have the Course Creator Experience. We have Miss Camicia coming up to give you guys some great information. So keep the pen and paper out. Make sure you're taking notes. I hope that you guys know that there is a difference in taking a note with a pen and actually typing your notes in. There is a difference. The information becomes embedded in your brain in a different way when you actually write it down. It's something about writing that transfers that information further into your brain. So make sure you're taking notes. We're here to share with you information about your business, that things that can help your business to grow. We also share the businesses that we run, and we're making sure that you know exactly how to do what we do or how you can actually connect with us. All right, so Mimi moved down, so make sure that you give her a quick follow as well. Make sure you're connecting. We are very friendly. You can pop over to the DMs and start a conversation with any of us, and we will definitely help you out. So we're here on Saturdays at 12 and Sundays at 7 Eastern. And if you want to be a speaker, make sure you actually go to masterclassmarathon.com to be a speaker. And if you're nervous about being a speaker, send me a DM and say, I'm nervous. I have something that can assist you with knowing how you can actually show up very well at the Masterclass Marathon. All right. So without further ado, I am going to give Camicia her 13 minutes on the clock. Let's go. You know what to do.
Hello, everybody. I am Camicia, your course creation strategist. I hope you can hear me okay. Okay, good. My little coworker is sleeping, so I hope he don't wake up. Okay. So today I'm going to talk to you about, y'all, he waking up. Today I'm going to talk to you about memberships versus courses, right? And so I get a lot of questions about like, what's the difference and which one should I pick, and aren't they the same thing? They're not, but they're very similar, okay? So what I want to do is kind of give you some of the differences, some of the similarities, and maybe help you make a determination in your business as to what it is that you want to do. And truth be told, you can actually do both. You don't really have to pick one or the other. Okay. You can turn a course into a membership, and you can turn a membership into a course if you choose, or you could have them both. So the first thing I want to talk about is a course, right? A course is something that is going to be more structured and streamlined. It's something that you create basically one time. You get paid for it normally up front. People pay one price for it, and then that person doesn't pay you again for that course, right? Whereas with a membership, is something that can bring in recurring revenue. So it's something that people normally pay on a monthly or a yearly or, some type of recurring basis, however you have it set up. And with the membership, the work inside of a membership can be more consistent than it is with the course. So when you have a membership, you have to do things to retain those members. So normally inside of a membership, you are maybe creating new content on a monthly basis. You're showing up a lot more, and you're having a lot more interaction with that membership community. Whereas when you have a course, you create the course that one time, and then the course is there, the course sells, and you update it as needed, right? So you don't have to show up for a course if you don't want to. Now, I do encourage people to have a membership component to their course to kind of help people get through the course, but that's not something that's required. One of the things that you have to be mindful of with the membership is that retention is going to be key, right? You have to know your numbers as far as how many people you need to keep inside of your membership on a monthly basis to make that money that you're trying to make, right? So one of the concerns with a lot of people is that, I have to keep doing new things to keep people interested. And you do, right? You have to continue to show up. You have to continue to add new content so that people will maintain that membership. Otherwise, people might leave your membership, and there goes that monthly recurrence that you were receiving. But you also have to know that with the membership, you're going to have to know that there will be turnover, right? There will be churn. So you're going to have to do things to market and to make people aware of your membership so that you're constantly looking for new members. You can't get comfortable and stop looking for new members, because if you do that and you have 5 members leave in 1 month, right, that could be a major blow to the income that you're getting inside of that membership community. So you want to make sure that with that membership, you're consistently seeking new members. You're consistently doing things to attract more members. But with the course, you don't have to do that, right? Now, with the course, there may be more work up front. There will be more work up front, right? I do believe that anybody can create a course, but not anybody can create a course correctly. So if you do what is required and you actually create a quality course, it's going to take you some time on the front end. There will be work on the front end for you to get that course completed. But once it's done, right? That's the good thing about the course. You do it, you make it, you sell it, and you sell it again, right? It's the same thing versus that membership. You're going to have to keep adding new pieces and adding new information to keep your people engaged and to keep them wanting to stay in that membership. And one of the things is for both of them, you can have a different level or different prices, right? You can have courses at a low ticket or at a high ticket, and you can have memberships at a low ticket or at a high ticket, right? But if you have a membership that's at a high ticket, you need to be prepared to be there a lot more. You need to be prepared to be giving a lot more value, a lot more content, right? Because people aren't going to pay you a high ticket amount for a membership if they're not getting that value and if they're not getting that consistent new content, right? Because one of the things about the membership is if somebody's paying a high ticket amount for a membership, right? Let's say somebody's paying $197 a month for your membership, right? If they're paying $197 for your membership, they expect you to be showing up. They expect you to be teaching them something, helping them with something, right? And that's money that people are actually going to know that they're spending. Versus sometimes when you have a low ticket membership that may be $20 a month, people may just stay in that membership because it's $20 and they don't realize, they don't think about it. And I know that because I'm in memberships that cost me $20 a month that I don't even check in with and don't even know why I'm still paying it. But because it's $20, I don't necessarily think about it. But if it was $197, I would be like, what we doing this month? Right? So you have to keep that in mind. One of the things to also note is that with memberships, you have to constantly be working on your engagement. You don't want a dead membership group either, because if your membership is dead, that's something else that may make other people want to leave your membership, right? Whereas with the course, you don't have to have the membership. You just create the course, sell the course, and people buy the course and they either complete it or they don't. You want them to, but you can't make them, right? So they either complete it or they don't. So that's something to think about. So it's also good to know that a lot of the platforms that you utilize for courses, you can also utilize for memberships. A lot of these platforms are available to courses and memberships. Now you need to know and check with your platform to determine whether or not there's going to be an additional fee to add on a membership. Sometimes there is. Sometimes there isn't, right? But it's good to know that you may not have to purchase something different to host your membership. Also, you should consider things like if you're trying to determine if you want to do a course, right? Ask yourself, like, are you more of a beginner or are you more of an expert? Because if you're more of an expert, I absolutely would not, if you're more of a beginner, I absolutely would not recommend that you start with a membership. Because you need to be an authority in that membership. You have to show up. You have to know what you're talking about completely to host a membership, right? With a course, you only need to know a specific something and you can teach that. But with the membership, you're going to need to know a lot of that specific something, right? So it's important that you don't just jump out and start a membership and you don't have a whole lot of content that you can actually add to that membership. You want to also be, if you're new to like marketing and content creation, that's something that you need to also be aware of. Unless you're going to hire somebody to help you, you're going to have to do a lot of marketing and content creation. So if you're not good at that, or if that's something that you're not interested in doing, have a plan to hire somebody to get that help before you actually go into these things, because they have to be marketed and they have to be sold, right? If you're looking for more of a part-time situation, you might want to consider courses, right? And depending upon how you set up your membership could work as well. You want to think about how active you plan to be, right? How much of yourself are you willing to give before you, to help you determine if you're going to be, if you're doing a course or if you're doing a membership, right? Is your topic like really broad, or is it really, is your topic really broad, or is it more of a niche topic, right? This can also help you with determining a course or a membership. And the solution or the transformation that you're trying to give people, is it something that they're willing to wait for, something that they're willing to get over time, something that they need to get in little bits, pieces, or is it something that they want quick, fast, and in a hurry right now? Just put in a course and let me buy it, or teach me every month something new about this so that I can have that membership, right? That's something you want to think about. When you're thinking about creating your course versus your membership, think about that person, your customer, and how fast they expect this transformation. Because you know that with courses, you can drip that information too. And y'all know how I feel about dripping information. I don't like it, but I understand why people do it. So you do have the option to drip information in a course as well. So keep that in mind. And you want to have you sold anything before? Like, have you sold a digital product before? Have you sold your one-to-one services before, right? There is some validation that is required for creating an online course. And if you're somebody who's already working with clients and you're thinking about putting what you do now into a course, then you've basically already validated it. I always say to people, pre-sell your course before you create it. Well, there are a few instances where courses can actually just be completely created because you've already validated it. You know that it's something people are going to pay for. They're paying you for it now, right? So in those instances, you have the ability to go ahead and create the course, to add it into whatever you're adding it to, and to make it work, right? I want you to be honest with yourself. Are you really and truly committed Are you really and truly committed to providing constant value and consistent information over and over and over and over again, right? This is not going to be one of those situations in a membership where you can like keep repeating information because you have the same people in, right? You have the same people. So you can't, they're not going to be fooled, right? You're going to have to make sure that you're giving them new stuff, something new to learn. So you have to really think about that. And if you don't think that that's going to be good, then don't do it. Don't start it, right? If you can't commit to it, if you don't think that that's really going to work. So just be honest with yourself. You don't have to have one or the other. You don't have to have both. But if you pick one, you want to make sure that that is what you truly want. I do believe that it's simpler to make a course, right? And I say that because it's not simple. The work is hard on the front end, but it's simpler because you don't have to keep on working as hard as you work inside of a membership, right? Sometimes people start memberships and they quit. They're like, this is way more work than I thought it was going to be, right? Building a community is really hard work. It truly is. And it takes special people to be able to do that. And I know that you're all special, so you can do it if you really want to do it. But if you don't have the time and the energy for that, if you're somebody who quits quickly, don't do it. Just create a course, okay? And one of the other things I want to talk to you about is pricing, right? It's important that you price your memberships and your courses accordingly to the value that you're delivering and the transformation that people are going to be able to receive. So it's important that you know your audience, you know the people that you're servicing and the people that are going to be attracted to your programs and your courses so that you have the ability to price your services accurately so that you can maintain those memberships and so that you can sell those courses. Okay. And that's really all I wanted to talk about today. I just want to kind of give a difference in the two, even though they are very similar, they do overlap. They are different. They are not the same thing. And it's important that you know that, because when you're having conversations with people and you're like, I want to have a membership, but what you really want is a course, you have to have somebody who's able to understand what you're actually speaking about and what you're trying to do. So that's all I wanted to share today. I wanted to share that there's a difference. You now know there's a difference. And if you have a question about either and or both, you can just reach out to me and we can discuss them. Let's see. How can you work with me? So this is the last call for my wait list for my course that's coming out. And my course teaches you how to create your very own course. That course is coming out very soon, probably this week. So what that means is this is the last call for the wait list. So for those that are on the wait list, they get exclusive pricing and other things. And for those who aren't, they don't get that benefit. I do offer one-to-one services where I am assisting to help you create your course. I do courses done for you, where basically all you have to do is like video recording if you are having videos, and I do everything else, the automations, the funnels, the wait list, all the other little details that go into making courses that people oftentimes don't have time for. So if you have questions about courses at all, just feel free to DM me the word help, or click the link in my bio and schedule a 15-minute consultation and we can talk about it. So thank you. Thank you, Tamika.
All right. Camicia dropping gems. Oh my gosh. Okay, she told you the differences. I hope that you were taking notes. You also can come back and you can watch the recording of this live, because we do leave them up. They will be up here on this page, Tamika James, and it is also found on the YouTube channel, Entrepreneurs Speak with Tamika James. So you can definitely come back. But I do hope that you were taking notes of the things that Camicia was saying, and just taking it all in so that you can know which direction you actually want to go in, because there are differences in the things that she spoke about. So if you and when you are ready to connect with her, make sure you DM her. But first, you want to click the arrow above our heads and give her a quick follow so that you can get connected right now. We're here because we want to put the people in front of you that you actually need, the people who have information, who are giving you the cheat code to all the things that you actually are considering to do. So make sure you give her a follow and start a conversation. You also said the word help, DM the word help if you want to work with her. Make sure you send that to her in the DMs, okay? And once again, if you have a question for her. All right. So that is it. Thank you so much. All right, so I will go up next, guys. I am Coach Tamika James. You guys are watching the Masterclass Marathon. I'm excited about being here as I always am every single week. We come here on Saturdays and on Sundays. So make sure you are setting your clock to make sure you're joining us. Yes, great information is given out here on the Masterclass Marathon. So as a life and business coach, I enjoy sharing information. I'm a cosmetologist turned life and business coach. So today, I actually want to tell you a couple of stories, and I also want to tell you what my topic is today, which is don't be afraid of tech. Don't be afraid. One of the things that happens in most entrepreneurs' minds is that you begin to think about the things that you need to utilize to get things done in your business. And it can begin to be a stumbling and roadblock for you because you look at what you need to click on, what you need to learn, and you get totally nervous and you freeze up. And I don't want this for you anymore. So I want to share with you that as a cosmetologist for most of my life, one of the things that has given me the edge on being able to know about technology is, number one, that when I was in high school, I actually wanted to take the cosmetology program. And they were like, no, you should take this computer tech programming program, and then you'll learn business and everything. And it was one of the first times that someone told me to do something and I didn't really want to do it. And I did it anyway. Okay. So I did it. All right. But it paid off because way back then, I was able to learn about computer programming, about the technology that was out at the time. So I was no longer afraid of it. Why was I no longer afraid of it? Because I learned about it. And I just want to tell you guys that simple message. When you learn about something that seems to be hard to use or difficult to your brain, you just have to learn. And that's really it. And once you learn something, all of the jitters and everything else that you feel, those things go away because you're now knowledgeable about the thing. So take the time to learn something that's giving you the headache or that makes you nervous. Now, some of the things in technology, I am going to tell you that you don't need to stop and learn all of the things. There are some things that you're going to just need to say, hey, who can do this for me, and pull out your dollars and let someone else do it for you. Now, Camicia just told you she'll build out your courses, okay? So if you want to turn the job over to someone else, do so. Don't hold it if you are going to be that, stumped by something that you want, but you don't want to dig into. Now, for some of you, it is going to be in your benefit to learn how to do the things. And why am I saying this? Because a lot of times people are hiring people for Facebook ads and to do certain things, and you don't understand any of this. So you don't even really know what they're doing. You don't know if they're doing it right or wrong, and you're completely lost. So I do say there is a certain amount of information you do need to learn so that you will not get cheated and you will also understand the process. Also, for me, with technology, one of the things that what I needed to do years ago was I needed to learn how to build my own website because I had several people build websites for me and they literally just kept dropping my projects. They were like disappearing, all kinds of things. Now, you definitely have to hope that you trust whoever you are hiring for anything that you're doing. But I want you to know something about it so that you're understandable about the process. So I learned how to do websites because of those things in the past. Now, fast forward, I am no longer servicing clients. I got my cosmetology license. I did the computer programming. I went to cosmetology school. I did the whole beauty thing for all of these years. And then I got to the point where I decided to put the shears down, and 360, I'm back to technology. Oh my gosh. Well, let me tell you what's beautiful about the fact that I know technology is that I know it and I can teach it. So what do? And I'm telling you these stories because some of you are sitting there and you're not really sure what else you could be doing with your life and with your day and everything like that. Because I know technology, I spend time in some of my programs teaching some of these things because I know, especially in the beauty community, you guys are not computer tech savvy or any of the things, and you want to know something about it. So I have a membership called UBG, and we run through the things in regards to your social media, your those things in technology that you need to understand. And by all means, understand it, then you can still hire someone. So these words are like words that you're like, oh, what is that? Email sequence, sales page, webinar, email, regular emails, challenges, modules, uh, slide decks, documents. Ugh. Guys, these words, they scare you, right? And I know why they scare you, because you don't understand them. So I just threw these words out just to let you hear a couple of things that I want you to pay attention to. So inside UBG, we actually help you with that. And I just wanted to say that there is a place that you can get this info because you're nervous about it. So when you actually sit down to learn something, here's how I want you to learn. I want you to isolate one thing that you want to learn, and I want you to go hard at figuring out how that thing actually works. So if you want to learn about emails or email sequences, I want you to say, this is what I'm going to learn. I'm going to find a place, and then I'm going to spend an hour to learn how to do it. Now, why am I telling you all of these things? Because as a life and business coach, the reason why I created all of these different places is because there's a certain way people need to learn, and I like to help you to know how to do those things. So why am I telling you that as well? I want to share with you one of the things you know about me that I speak about often is creating your own courses, programs, and things like that, the memberships. I talk about those things because you can all do it. You can do it. You just have to make the choice that you want another stream of income, and you actually want to have something that you can share with the rest of the world. So if this is something you want to do, I definitely can help you, but I want you to tell yourself that you can do it and you're willing to do it. And something I just want to read in just one little line. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If you think you can do it, then you can. If you keep telling yourself that you can't, then you won't be able to do any of these things. So I want you to just lock down in your mind and tell yourself, I need to have another stream of income. I'm willing to learn something else, and I am going to tackle this social media. I'm going to learn all of these things. Why should you know them? Me as a life and business coach, I want to caution you that if you don't learn a lot of these things, the business that you're running is going to suffer. I meet especially a lot of people in the beauty industry that don't understand systems, automations, just regular emails. You guys are emailing people and you're putting everybody's emails out there because you didn't even hit BCC. That's blind copy. You didn't even hit BCC and you put everybody's email address in one email, and now everybody has everybody's stuff, and now other people are getting emailed because of you, and you don't even know what you're doing wrong. Okay, and then you have to learn how to create the email that is a campaign which will go out and it'll share information with the masses, but it's inside of a particular system. Why am I telling you this? Because you need to know this. So what I was able to do when I decided to put the shares down was to create a membership called UBG. Now, you guys hear me talk about a lot of different memberships, and I want to share with you, I have a bunch of different things running, but do not get confused in seeing that I have a couple of things running and you should just start with a bunch of things. UBG started over a year and a half ago. So I want to tell you that, like Kamisi has been telling you guys about creating your memberships and your courses and different things. You can create one and you can get that rolling and it is in existence. And that one is a membership. It started because I wanted to be, Kamisi said, if you don't want to be in there, you got to be careful. I wanted to be in there. I wanted to be in there live 2 times a week to share information with the people that actually needed this business info. I'm telling you my story and I'm telling you how it went, because if this is something you want to do, I want you to know that you can do it. I've been running that for a year and a half. And then when I decided to create another course, which is one for how to write your own books. During the pandemic, I realized that there were people who didn't know how to write their books, and I had written several. So what did I do? I took the information that I knew and I packaged it all up and I created it as a course that sits still. It's parked, it's there. So I can tell you about it in an email. I can put it on my website and it can sit there. It's something that I just knew I needed to build based upon people continuously asking me. Now, I honestly created that course from a webinar that I did. I did this webinar and I ran a webinar for close to 2 hours. hours. And it was recorded content of the details of how to actually write your books in multiple ways, how to do a physical printed book, how to do an audio book, how to create an ebook, how to do all of those things. And because I put the information down one time, I was able to take that and break those videos up and turn them into a course that has its own modules and additional info. So I'm sharing with you, if you know something, do not sit here and say, I can't build this out. I heard someone say something earlier, and they were talking about how, especially with the beauty, the stylist, oh, you can't really build your course because you're so busy. And that is not true. I've created close to 200 digital products while I was in the beauty industry, while I was behind the chair, while I was traveling the world. I would sit down and I would create a certain amount of time, and I would take that time out and I would record my videos. And then I would decide what else needs to be in the course and put it in. So all you have to do is get your schedule together and make a choice that this is something you want to do because you want another stream of income, and you also want to create impact on the world and help others with what you know. So I just want to make sure that you're empowered today to know that you can do this. And if and when you get to the point where you don't want to do it anymore, then you can call someone like Kamisi and say, hey, I would like for you to take this on and to do this. That's up to you whether you want to stay in it or not. Now, those of you who want to build out your course, I am your girl to make sure that I'm working along with you, especially those of you in the beauty industry. I decided to create something for the beauty industry, which is a course called, a program called the Stylist Course Building for Stylists. And I knew that you were going to tell yourself that you don't have enough time. I knew you were going to be confused about how to do it. I knew you were not going to understand technology. And I knew that you also were going to have in your mind that I actually should probably do this because I don't want to stay behind a chair after I'm 50 years old. So when you decide who you are and what you want to share with the world, you just got to create the thing and share it like I did. I created that course and I'm super excited about it. One of the things that we can do with social media, and I want to chat about that real quick in my last minute, is that we can take our social media and we can create these things and then we can tell people about them on our social media. Now, Mimi was talking earlier about how we don't want to just be selling all the time. But I want to share with you that if you create a course and through your social media, you can show up as the person that has the information that's in the course by doing a live and telling people what they need to know about the thing that's in your course, by taking that live and breaking it down and turning it into little reels that are giving information about how to do the thing. So what you want to do is show up as the authority on the thing that you made the course on. Now, I had a bunch of messages today. My message mainly was, do not be afraid of tech. Make a choice that is something that you want to do. Learn what you need to learn and decide that you're going to make your impact on the world. Create that other stream of income and get rolling and utilize your social media. And why did I create the UBG membership? Because it's a place where we're helping you with your social media because you have these thoughts in your mind that you don't really know how to do all of these things. And we break them down. We have segments where we're teaching you the technology stuff too. I created the membership because I knew that you didn't know technology. So guys, you can follow in my footsteps and you can create whatever course or program that you want to create. And it's all about who you are, what you know, and the fact that you're willing to take a leap and make a choice to do something that you haven't done already. And so what that you don't know about it? You get to learn every single day something new that you just don't know. And what I want to encourage you to do is learn something and have fun while learning. That's what I do. I'm sitting in front of the TV, the computer, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just learned something new. I never knew that. That's how my learning goes when I am, as an entrepreneur, learning something new that I can bring to my members and to other people that are following me. So if you are ready to start your course, I want you to know that I have a space for you to come in. If you're a hairstylist and you want to build out a course, you can come in, you can start right now. You can click the button that's the link in my bio for the course building for stylists, and you'll be able to get in there immediately. I know Kamisa says she don't like drip content, but I love it. I love it. I love it because I let you see one thing at a time. Instead of you getting overwhelmed, I let you see that one thing. You get to watch that, you learn it, and you do the thing, and then you move to the next thing. And, you know, even though she spoke about how she feels about it, we all have multiple ways to do things, and we all have different opinions, and there are all different ways that we will run in different things. And guess what? Every single course that I have is not dripped content as much as I talk about it. So that is me in a nutshell. I am your life and business coach. I help you to plan, strategize, and organize. I help you to take what you know, package it up, create it as a course. And if your business is in trouble, I'm going to help you to take what is going wrong, break it down into small pieces, and figure the thing out so we can fill in the holes. So that's me in a nutshell. You guys have been watching the Masterclass Marathon. We thank you for joining us tonight. And we're going to get ready to close out. We want you to know that you can watch this here on Tamika James on the IG page in the series. You also can watch it on Entrepreneur Speak with Tamika James. And we'll be back here next Saturday at 12. If you want to be a speaker, click the link in my bio. If you want to actually find it in a different place, you can go to masterclassmarathon.com to click on becoming a speaker. Fill out the quick application and you can be here too. We are sharing our audiences, and that is what we do, and I love it. One more thing I do want to share with you. Just like you see the Masterclass Marathon here right now, one of the things that I have created is another space for those who join my program that I was just talking about, which is a program for you to create your course. I'm going to help you to get exposure. I know why you didn't build your course, because you're nervous. You're so nervous that nobody's going to buy it. Nobody knows you, but you got to find a way that you're going to show up. You have to start showing up. So I'm not going to let you off the hook. When you join my course, you get to come in and you get to actually get on live with me and expose yourself to the rest of the world. All right, that is it. I thank you guys for joining. Camicia, thank you for speaking again tonight. And much success to everyone who was here watching the Masterclass Marathon. We are about to go on about our merry way and do some things that we know we need to do. So watch this replay if you missed anything. And you guys are so welcome. Thank you for the comments on the screen. Colleen, Sneaky Babe, Muse, thank you so much. You guys are so welcome. We just want to encourage you, because we don't want you to just keep sitting here watching us. Take some action, guys. Take some action. All right. Good night.